have always wondered if my productivity and creativity could be affected by the types of music that I'm listening to. So I created a little experiment to find out. My name is Natalie. I write books, I read books, and I make content on the internet about those two things. And today I have a little challenge. I am going to set a 20-minute timer and I am going to write while listening to different types of music. I have some curated playlists that are different like vibes, and we're gonna see if listening to a specific type of music makes me more productive or more creative and/or more creative. And we're just gonna have some fun today. And this is actually a very exciting video because I have partnered with Uppbeat for this challenge. They are a highly curated library of motion graphics and music and sound effects and basically anything that a creator could ever need. I'm gonna talk more about them later. Just know they're amazing. I have used them for a year before we ever got in contact with each other. Enough of that. Let's just jump straight into the challenge. I am writing a young adult fantasy novel. I am currently on draft 3. This is the draft that I am hoping will be the most ready to have eyes other than my own look at it, read it, and tell me what they think. Hopefully one day you will get this book in your hands, but first I gotta write it. And that's what today is for. So how is this experiment challenge thing going to work? I have a timer here and I'm going to set it for 20 minutes. And every 20 minutes, I'm going to listen to a curated playlist from Uppbeat that sets the tone for a specific vibe. So I specifically asked them to give me playlists for 4 vibes. There is fantasy world, nature inspired, cinematic, and then focus mode, whether that was like lo-fi or classical or anything they thought would help me like really optimize my brain. And we're just gonna write for 20 minutes. I will stop in between and we'll chat and see if I thought it was helpful or distracting. That's it. That's the experiment. Welcome to the challenge. Welcome to the writing vlog. I will see you after the first sprint. 20 minutes on the timer. I'm gonna start my chilled fantasy playlist. Okay. Okay, let's do it. Okay, 20 minutes has come and gone. I wrote 288 words, which I would not say is bad. It's definitely not the best I've ever done, but I mean, like, that was pretty good. Writing to fantasy music. It took me a second to get used to it. I don't normally write to music, at least not music like that. And it took me a second to get into it. It took me a second to be able to focus. And there were a few songs that I feel like pulled me out of it. A few songs where I found myself skipping it because I was like, this is distracting. I think I did okay. Finally got in there, finally was able to focus at least a little bit. Yeah, and I'm proud of what I did. Fantasy music, I give a 5 out of 10, I think. It's nice to set the mood, but I did find it distracting. I forgot to light my candle. Have to properly set the mood. Oh well, now I have the candle lit. I will say my favorite song from this playlist was Magic Forest by Kevin MacLeod. MacLeod? Kevin M, if you will. Like, can't you see yourself like sitting in a tavern hearing some bard tell an old story, which is definitely not the story that I'm writing, but it just gives good fantasy vibes. I'm absolutely saving this one to use later to either write to or to put in a video or something. Okay, so for the next 20 minutes, we are moving to our cinematic section. This says it's a hand-picked playlist of inspirational scores and cinematic soundscapes. We're gonna see, I know that like cinematic is a very broad spectrum of what that could be based on the mood of the piece that it's accompanying, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna put this on shuffle. We're gonna see. 20 minutes and let's go. Okay, I apologize for the lighting change, but got dark outside. There is a rainstorm coming, so hopefully I can finish filming this video before the rainstorm does come. I finished my 20 minutes listening to the cinematic playlist, and I wrote 528 words in 20 minutes. That's freaking fantastic. I think it's pretty fair to say I enjoyed this more than I enjoyed the fantasy music. I definitely was able to completely zone out and just get into the moment. And I think part of what should be said is obviously I was further into my writing. Like the hurdle of starting had already passed. So there's something to be said about that. But I do think I was really able with the cinematic music to really put it in the background of my brain, because like that's the point of cinematic music, right? Is to have it not take center stage, to let the story of the movie or whatever it is that you're watching take center stage and have that just be like complementary. Definitely felt that in this writing. I cannot even particularly pick out a song that I liked more than the others because all of them kind of flowed together in my brain and I just really was able to focus. Should I be writing to cinematic music? Because this kind of makes me feel like I should have been doing this the entire time, and maybe I would have been seeing more progress in writing my novel. Something to ponder, something to think about later, but we have to move on. So next we have nature sounds, which I'm actually really excited about because I feel like that's what I write best, is kind of when I'm just hearing birds chirping outside or, you know, dogs barking in the distance, the rustle of leaves in the wind. So I'm excited about this one. We'll see. 20 minutes. Can you see that? There you go. Honestly, there's nothing better than bird sounds. I can already tell I'm gonna like this one. Dare I say, that was even more successful than cinematic. Nature sounds. Who knew? I think I did. I think my suspicion was this would be the most successful one. These numbers are going to be a little skewed because I did copy over like almost 3,500 words, something like that. But for the day, for the 3 20-minute sessions I've done, I am now at 4,693 words for the day. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? I did copy over. Like I said, I probably copied over 3,000, 3,500. Like it was a whole chapter and a half. So like a chunk there. But I still probably wrote, I don't know, what is that math? 800 words? Don't check my math. That's probably wrong. I definitely wrote more than the last time. Yeah, it was the same thing. I was really able to like zone out and really get in the rhythm, but I was more conscious of this music than I was with the cinematic music. And I don't know necessarily why. I just think like the really calming, relaxing, like water, bird sounds, even like violins to me is very naturey, and that was a lot on this playlist. That stuff I could hear, I could recognize it was going on, but I don't know, it tapped a primal part of my brain that made me think, yeah, engage in this story. That was really productive. That felt fantastic. And now I'm at almost 5,000 words for the day, and I've only written 320 minutes, which is an hour. Are you kidding? That's incredible. That's freaking incredible. Again, copied over words, but still, progress is progress. I'm not gonna not count it, right? I'm excited. Let's move on to the next one. I just like, this might be the coolest experiment I've ever done, and perhaps I always need to be writing to music from this day forward. And you know what? That is a great little segue into me talking about Uppbeat. That was not planned. I'm just that good, y'all. So like I said before, Uppbeat is a music catalog, a music library that also has motion graphics, that also has sound effects, and even LUTs, which is, I don't know, I haven't used them yet. Some type of video overlay to make your videos look super cinematic. And what's very exciting about Uppbeat is they are free, literally free. There is a free version for creators, always. There's a premium version. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the premium is pretty great. But the free version accomplishes everything that you need it to. You can download up to 3 sound effects or songs or motion graphics or whatever you want per month and use them completely free, completely copyright free in anything that you want to put on the internet. To give you a little sales pitch though, I will say premium is absolutely worth it because you can have unlimited downloads for literally everything they have in their library. I am going to have a link in my description box and also in a pinned comment if you'd like to try out Uppbeat for yourself. Okay, we gotta stop yapping because we still got one more category of music to do. So let's head to the focus mode music. So Jenna, who I've been working with from Uppbeat, who gave me these curated playlists, she gave me a few options for the focus section. So there's lo-fi beats, classical music, and like a jazz coffee shop vibe. I think I'm going to try classical music. Or maybe I should try lo-fi because it's like so different from everything else I've been listening to. But then again, maybe I should try the jazz coffee shop. Maybe I should try all 3, but I don't have time to try all 3. Okay, I'm going with my gut. I'm gonna do classical music. We're gonna do classical music and see how we do. 20 minutes, we gotta get going. Here we go. 20 minutes on the clock, classical music, let's go. This is a beautiful classical music song. I'm feeling it, I'm getting into it. We did it. Ooh, I did a lot of writing today. Classical music. I realized I forgot to rate the last 2. Both were 10 out of 10. Classical music, maybe a 7 out of 10. I definitely did okay. 539 words. So I guess that's about the same as when we did this cinematic music. I don't know. I felt slower this time. I felt like I kept getting distracted by the music. I think it's just because classical music has such like a wide range of what that can mean that the songs didn't really flow together for me. And so it was more like when a song would end and a new one would start, I would be like, oh yeah, I'm listening to music. So I don't necessarily know if that's for me. But I mean, clearly the numbers speak for themselves. Clearly it worked at least a little bit. If anyone is curious, today in 1 hour and 20 minutes, I have written 5,232 words. And granted, I'm not going to count about 3,000 of those, 3,500-ish, but even if I can write 2,000 words in a freaking hour and 20 minutes, are you kidding? Are you kidding? That's the most productive I've ever been working on this book. Wow. What a fantastic day. What a fantastic experiment. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna walk away from this computer for a minute and then we will do a recap. So, how did that experiment go? I would say pretty freaking great. I highly recommend everybody try this, whether you use Uppbeat or any other music platform. I think it's a really great way to see what it is that works for your brain. I mean, clearly some things worked for my brain and some things didn't, and I am happily going to keep doing this, keep experimenting with exactly what music works for me. I think I am going to keep trying nature sounds and cinematic scapes. I think clearly something within me really vibes with that. I am also curious if you guys write to music or not, if you are a writer or just a creator in general, whatever you create, art, otherwise. Do you listen to music while you do it? And does it help you or hinder you? Because I feel like it's 50-50. I was a person who never listened to music while I write. And then I think maybe a few months ago, I started just trying it out and sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. And now I know why. I just think it's so interesting that every artist has their own creative journey and things that work for them and things that don't. So please tell me about your creative journey in the comments. I am deeply curious. I think nosy is the appropriate term. I'm nosy and I'd like to know. Of course, I want to thank Uppbeat for partnering with me on this video. It has been a delight. Guys, I just love Uppbeat. I really do. Highly recommend if you are a creator looking for music to either put in your videos or just to have in the background when you're writing a novel. They're the best. As a reminder, Uppbeat is completely free for everybody, but if you want a pro plan or a creator plan, you can definitely sign up for premium and use my link below if you'd like 20% off. That's it. That's all my rambles. Thank you for coming along today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.